Mazuma TV back in the building, man. What's going on, y'all? Shout out to Mazuma Nation. Shout out to the Mazuma Mob. We in the building as always, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive day. On my way to go get it as always, man, with the shitty weather and the rain and all that, man. I hope y'all doing the same. You know what I'm saying? On the road to 2K, we about to hit that 1,500 mark, man. Subscribers going up every day. I'm extremely thankful. Thank you. You know what I mean? Thank you to the mob. Thank you to the nation for supporting me. You know what I'm saying? Y'all could have easily brought y'all support somewhere else, but y'all decided to support the boy. So I'm extremely thankful. You know what I'm saying? Also, check out Mazuma merch, man. I have my new Mazuma Nation merch up right now. Already got a couple sales. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue to support the merch. You know what I'm saying? Let's show the world what Mazuma Nation and the mob is about. You know what I'm saying? But let's talk about exactly what I really want to get into in this video, and it's who is the fighter of the year. I talked about it a little bit last night, but I wasn't able to really break it down because I was getting caught up in the chat. You know what I mean? I was getting caught up in conversations on the chat and things of that nature, man. If y'all didn't see that live, go check it out, man. Go rewatch the live, of course. And we was having a good discussion, man. There's a few people that's been mentioned as fighter of the year, man. They talking about Terence Crawford. They talking about Naoya Inoue after his victory yesterday and becoming two-time undisputed, similar to Terence Crawford. You know what I mean? Also, they also brought up the idea of Devin Haney and David Benavidez. You know what I mean? So people are asking me, who is your fighter of the year? And let's just be as objective as possible. You know what I mean? I know everybody's hype on Naoya Inoue right now because he's had the most recent victory. Like Southpaw said, recency bias. That is a real thing, man. A lot of people seem to be caught up in the moment as it's going on. You know what I mean? But let's just think about throughout the course of the whole year. You know what I mean? Now, if you're asking me, you know what I'm saying? It's not really about, to me, who's fought consistently throughout the year. Who's fought on a consistent level throughout the year. It's who had the biggest moment of the year and who did it in the most dominant fashion. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? And when we look over the guys at the top of the boxing world that have the most dominant displays of victories, we gotta bring Naoya Inoue and Stephen Fulton to the table, man. That was a dominant victory. There's no lie about that. I'm not going to disregard it. You know what I'm saying? But we also have to talk about. We also got to bring to the table David Benavidez versus Demetrius Andrade. That's another one. But to me, the one that sticks out the most, in my honest opinion, is Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence. I think there is no denying that was the most meaningful fight of the year in terms of two of the best pound-for-pound caliber fighters going up against each other, both undefeated, and for all the belts, man. It had every single thing that you would want in a fight, man. Two of the best fighters in the division, at their best. Two of the only champions in the division coming together to see who's the one champion in the division. You know what I'm saying? So in terms of that was probably the most meaningful fight of the year. However, what makes Terence Crawford the fighter of the year, besides being the most meaningful fight of the year, is the fashion in which he defeated Errol Spence Jr. You know what I mean? Throughout Errol Spence Jr.'s career, he's either been dominant or gotten clear victories. You know what I mean? He was dominant when he fought guys like, you know what I mean, Chris Algieri, Chris Van Heerden, punished Kell Brook in the UK. Had a convincing victory against Sean Porter, dominated your Dennis Ugas, you know what I'm saying, and went through to get each belt that he had to defeat a champion, you know what I'm saying, and he went to the smoke, man. He didn't do any tune-ups. That man had a car accident, came back, and continued to do his thing in the division and show that if he wasn't number one, that, you know what I mean, he was the most accomplished in terms of titles. You know what I mean? He had 3 of the titles. Terence Crawford was just holding on to 1 at the time prior to defeating Errol Spence. And a lot of people were banking on Errol Spence to win. A lot of people were bringing up size and experience at a high level and things of that nature. Terence Crawford got rid of that whole situation, man. Completely dominated, man. Errol Spence looked like he didn't even belong in the ring with Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford showed to be the faster fighter, better timing, better ring IQ, setting traps beautifully, punching in between Errol Spence's punches, was physically stronger, was pushing him around, showcased a beautiful jab, just all around the board. That shit was not close at all. Hurting Errol Spence to the body, hurting him to the head, dropped him several times throughout the fight, and had a beautiful stoppage victory, man. It was staying composed the entire time. How relaxed Terence Crawford was. It was like he was extremely ready for the moment. He took over the moment, and he had the most dominant victory of the year, man. And was able, before Naoya Inoue, to become two-time undisputed, man. These things that we cannot argue. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who says anything about Terence Crawford victory being overrated or Earl Spence being overrated, man, they clearly have an agenda. They're clearly being biased, and they clearly have a disdain towards either Terence Crawford or Earl Spence, or maybe both. You know what I mean? I got people that's on my chat that talk bad about PBC in general. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. You know what I mean? But Terence Crawford is my fighter of the year. Now, I'm not disregarding anything that any of these guys have done, man. David Benavidez had a hell of a year. But he's admitted himself that he doesn't even consider himself a pound-for-pound level talent. Now, I seem to disagree with that. I think he should be on the pound-for-pound list. But he feels like he has more to prove. So, assuming that he's not even considering himself a pound-for-pound fighter, he probably wouldn't even consider himself the fighter of the year. You know what I'm saying? He defeated Caleb Plant. He defeated Demetrius Andrade. Both quality guys. However, neither one of them guys were at the top of their division like Earl Spence was at the time that Terence Crawford fought him. Naoya Inoue, he defeated Stephen Fulton, who was the top guy at 122, unified champion. Defeated him, but he wasn't as accomplished as an Earl Spence. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't as high level of a pound-for-pound fighter than Earl Spence, in my honest opinion. You know what I'm saying? Tapales, I'm not sure who. I don't really recall any fights that Tapales has had besides his unification fight and fighting Naoya Inoue. You know what I mean? So that's just my personal opinion on the situation, man. Everybody can have their own picks, but I'm telling you exactly why Terence Crawford, although he has fought one time this year, why he is the fighter of the year, man. The magnitude of his fight and the fashion in which he dominated, it's hands down, in my opinion. Hands down, Terence Crawford is the fighter of the year. You know what I'm saying? And he's still my pound-for-pound #1 guy. And that's just how I'm giving it up until somebody prove otherwise. You know what I'm saying? Naoya Inoue is a talented fighter. 4-division world champion. Undisputed in 2 of those, 4-division world champion. 2 undisputed, in 2 different weight classes. We cannot disregard the fact that he has accomplished some great things. You know what I mean? And Devin Haney as well. Devin Haney would have been a nice candidate to have on the fighter of the year list. However, I think what takes away from that, in all honesty, was the close fight that he had with Vasyl Lomachenko. You know what I mean? Like, he dominated Regis Prograis. But we told you at Mazuma TV off of the rip that Regis Prograis was tailor-made stylistically for Devin Haney, and he went out there and he proved me right. You know what I'm saying? Now, Vasyl Lomachenko, top-level fighter, man, was on the pound-for-pound. A lot of people were calling him pound-for-pound #1 at one point. You know what I mean? Until Teofimo dethroned him. You know what I mean? And, you know, Devin Haney, he won, in my opinion. You know what I mean? It could have went either way. It could have been a draw or could have went 7-5 either way. But because that bout was so shaky between them dudes, and it could have really went either way, I'm not giving fighter of the year to Devin Haney, despite he may feel different. You know what I mean? To me, it's Terence Crawford hands down, man. So y'all let me know what y'all think right here. I have Terence Crawford as the fighter of the year. You know what I'm saying? The boxing writers might have something different, but Mazuma TV, Terence Crawford is the fighter of the year. Y'all let me know who y'all guys fighter of the year. Do y'all agree, disagree? Y'all leave it in the comments below. This is Mazuma TV. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm out of here, man. Peace.